Chapter 25. Writing paragraphs. A paragraph is a group of related sentences that discuss and elaborate a single, complete idea. The sentences are connected like the links of a chain, and together they develop a theme or a topic sentence. The central or main idea of the paragraph should be expressed as a complete sentence, stating the idea and explaining it with details and examples. Be sure to express your topic sentence that clearly expresses the main idea in the form of a conclusion, observation, or opinion. A topic sentence should be general enough to be explained or supported with further discussion. Do not make the mistake of confusing a topic sentence with a subject or a little for writing. Remember, the topic sentence expresses the entire theme of a paragraph in one sentence, which serves a base. Avoid personal remarks and express the topic sentence in simple language. Do not elaborate complicated statements. Be precise and direct. Salient features of a good paragraph. A good paragraph should possess unity and coherence. Unity. The first principle to be observed in constructing a paragraph is that of unity. Just as each sentence deals with one thought, each paragraph must deal with one topic or idea. Every sentence in the paragraph must be closely connected with the main topic of the paragraph. If summarized, they usually result in a single sentence, and that is the topic sentence. Coherence. The second principle of paragraph construction is coherence. The presentation should be logical and natural. There should be logical sequence of thought. Events must be related in order of their occurrence, that it should be both logical and chronological order. All the ideas should be connected with the central idea and arranged according to their importance. Spatial order is also important. Visual descriptions often follow spatial order. Key points to remember. Try to understand the central idea around which the paragraph is built. Arrange the points in logical and chronological order. Pay attention to your opening and concluding sentences. Both should be impressive. Write complete sentences in a simple and precise manner. Connect your sentences with transitions. Transitions are words and phrases that show how ideas in a sentence relate to each other. They act as verbal signposts like, for example, to begin with, in addition to, furthermore, however, nevertheless, all the same, notwithstanding, etc. Use pronouns and demonstrative adjectives this, that, those, these, and pronouns like many, each, some, either, such, and easy connect sentences. Specimen paragraphs. First, graffiti. Modern graffiti began in big cities in the United States in the 1970s. In New York, young people wrote their names or tags in pen on walls around the city. One of the first taggers was a teenager called Demetrius. His tag was Tacky 183. His tag was Tacky 183. He wrote his tag on walls and in stations in New York. Other teenagers saw Demetrius' tag and started writing their tags too. Soon, there were tags on walls, buses, and trains all over New York. Then, some teenagers started writing their tags with aerosol paint. Their tags were bigger and more colorful. Aerosol paint graffiti became very popular in the 1970s and 1980s. It appeared on trains, buses, and walls around the world. In the 1990s and 2000s, a lot of graffiti artists have problems with the police. In other countries, artists can draw and paint in certain places. For example, in Taiwan, there are graffiti zones where artists can paint on walls. In Sao Paulo, in Brazil, street artists can paint pictures on walls and houses. Their pictures are colorful and beautiful. Some tourists visit Sao Paulo just to see the street art. In Bristol, in the UK, there is a street art festival in August every year. Artists paint all the buildings in a street. Lots of people come to watch the artists and take photographs. You can see exhibition of street art in some galleries too. There have been exhibitions of street art in galleries in Paris, London, and Los Angeles. Some street artists have become famous. Here are three stars of the street art world. Os Gemios are twin brothers from Sao Paulo. They paint big, colorful pictures of people on buildings. In 2007, they painted a castle in Scotland. Blackley Rat is from Paris. He is famous for painting pictures of homeless people in big cities. Faith 47 is from Cape Town in South Africa. She paints big, colorful pictures of people and animals. She likes painting in different places, and you can find her work on pavements, post boxes, buses, and, of course, on walls. Many street artists use the internet to look at photographs of street art from around the world. They communicate with other artists online and share ideas. Some street artists are famous and you can see their pictures in galleries. We don't know about the future of street art, but it is here to stay for sure. Second, animals in the city. A bear entered the city of Vancouver in Canada in December 2011. It walked down the streets, past houses, shops, and offices. On his way, he found some food to eat in bins outside a restaurant. But the next morning, someone saw the bear and reported it to the police. The police arrived with a vet from the city zoo and took the bear into the mountains outside the city. They put him back in his natural habitat and made sure he was safe. But that is not always the case. What happens when animals come into cities? It may be unusual to see a bear on the streets in Vancouver, but you may spot many big animals in the city every day. Big animals usually come into the city in search of food. Baboons come into the city in Cape Town and go into gardens and eat fruit from trees. They have also been seen going into houses and taking food from refrigerators. It's true that baboons can scare people, but it cannot be discarded that the city can be dangerous for them too. Sometimes baboons are killed in automobile accidents. Also, human food is harmful for the baboon's teeth owing to high sugar content in them. But to make sure that baboons are safe and taken care of, baboon monitors have been installed in Cape Town to track baboons in the city and return them to the countryside. In Berlin, Germany, it's rams that sometimes come into the city looking for food. They eat flowers and vegetables from parks and gardens. They sometimes also walk in the streets and cause accidents, while some people like the rams and feed them sometimes. Not everyone is for the same opinion. The government and police have been asked to prevent them from entering the city. Another instance is of the presence of about 35,000 wild dogs in Moscow. They make their homes in parks, old houses, markets, and train stations. A lot of people like the dogs and provide food and water for them. There are also people who make small houses for the dogs in winters when the temperature in Moscow goes as low as minus 10 degrees Celsius. Many animals live in the cities. In some cities, it is a common sight to see birds, insects, and squirrels. But it cannot be ignored that it is sometimes dangerous when big animals come into cities looking for food. In order to maintain the safety of the animals and the people, we need to come up ways to prevent animals from entering the cities without hurting them. Third, amazing adventures. Like thousands of people, do you also dream of climbing Mount Everest or going to Antarctica? Every year, thousands of aspirants try to climb the world's highest peak or walk across continents. Let's take a look at some of the greatest adventures of the 21st century. Ed Stafford from the United Kingdom is the first person to walk along the Amazon River from the mountains of Peru all the way to the mouth of the river in Brazil. It took him a total of 2 years and 4 months to complete his journey. But it was not an easy walk. The rainforest is home to a number of dangerous animals, like snakes and crocodiles. Luckily for Ed, he was only bitten by ants and mosquitoes. He also had to look for food every day, which mainly consisted of fruits, nuts, or fish. Sometimes it was difficult to find food and he would go hungry. Technology was Ed's best friend when he was all alone in the rainforest. He used a radio to contact the people of the rainforest and ask for food and help. A lot of people came forward to help him and guide him on his way in the rainforest. While on his journey, Ed maintained a blog in order to let people know about climate change and destruction of the rainforest from a personal point of view. More than 4,000 people have accomplished climbing the Mount Everest. Australian national Gerlinde Coulter-Brunner is one of them. She is one of the world's greatest mountaineers who has climbed all of the world's peaks over 8,000 meters. Geraldine loves mountain climbing despite the difficulties of climbing in cold weather and storms. It all began for her as a teenager when she would climb the mountains near her home. She became a nurse after finishing school, but her love for climbing never faded. She went mountain climbing in her face time whenever she could. Now, her time is divided between mountain climbing and helping a charity for poor children in Nepal. Adventurers loves a new challenge. One such adventurer is Megan McGrath from Canada. Her list of adventures includes climbing mountains, riding a bike across Canada, and running races in the desert. However, her greatest achievement was a skiing trip to the South Pole. Megan pulled a sled with a tent and all her food while she skied. It took her 40 days amidst terrible storms and sub-zero temperatures when she finally arrived at the South Pole. Eric Wihenmeyer from the United States has climbed mountains and ridden a bike through the desert. What is amazing about his achievement is that he is blind. He is an inspiration for blind people all over the world to have active lives with nothing holding them back. He has spearheaded many climbing trips in Nepal with groups of young blind people. Technology plays an important part in helping adventurers, but one needs to prepare well. If you aspire of becoming an adventurer, there will always be continents and deserts to walk across and mountains to climb.